Good morning, everyone. Welcome to June 5th, 2026, another day in my life. I am Kate. It is 9:07 a.m. I'm pretty tired again today, but I am having the thought and remembering to do Pilates today. So I've got that ready, or going to be getting it ready. And then walking to TMS is the goal. Yeah, and then, of course, covering some other things, but I'm going to go ahead and get started on the Pilates because I do need to leave the house around like 9:50 to get to my appointment. So anyway, yeah, hey, doing the Pilates today. Excited about that, finally. Okay, so it has been a hot minute since I've done Pilates, like over 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And it clearly kicked my butt again. So just glad to have gotten it in today. More importantly, and I think the other thing is like, I plan, right? And as much as I plan, and sometimes I'll make lists. I was really big about doing that, but again, something I've lost interest in over these few years and just haven't got back into the habit of, but I am a list person. So anyway, I'll, you know, tell myself like Pilates, but it has not been happening as we can see. And a lot of that is just like I'm forgetting to do it and the thought is not there. This morning it was, though, obviously, like I'd mentioned. So I certainly acted on that thought, despite being tired. Just kind of pushing through, I guess you could say. All right, I'm gonna get ready for TMS. I'm not gonna shower because like 80 degrees and I'm gonna walk a mile and a half there and the mile and the half back. So yeah, I'm just gonna throw on some clothes and head out for that appointment soon. I want to quickly finish the unboxing from yesterday because I didn't even bother to open this hat because I assumed maybe it was going to be the same thing. I also, after finding the strap for this one on the floor and it being black, I started to wonder if maybe it somehow came out of this package. We can see it is still completely sealed. It's not taped. It is still sealed there. So let's go ahead and open it and see, for one, how cute this one is, but also if it includes the strap, because I had noticed that it has this baggie here. So again, completely sealed still. I'm gonna have to get scissors to open it. And oh, okay, so the baggie was like this, but the strap is right here. So I did essentially just drop the strap yesterday and I swore I looked for it, but I was so out of it yesterday, who knows. But let's check out how cute this one is. I'm already excited. I think I might wear this one today. And it does have like a wire in the brim to help it kind of stay formed. Oh my gosh, yes. I think I'm gonna wear, I don't know, probably the black one today. It's weird though, because I'm like, it's 80 degrees and it's gonna be hot, and doesn't the black absorb the sun? I don't know. I'm just so thankful that each have a strap and I really like them. And the fit is really good as well. So great little hat here. Very excited to have it. First Kate heart for today. I say first because I always assume there will be more than one. And no idea what this is, but I'm not gonna touch it either. That's a cool heart. Flowers are so pretty. Okay, it is 10:15 a.m. I can feel a change in my mood, right? So I was walking through this parking lot over there where they're weed whacking the weeds in the parking lot, like the ones that are growing there. And most people, like, especially the professional companies, will stop when you're walking by. These two guys, like, more or less kept going. I mean, I'm trying to get out of the way, right? Anyway, once I'd gotten past them a bit, I felt something like hit me in my back. And of course, it's something from the fucking weed whacking, like probably a piece of the parking lot or rock. And that has really upset me. To the point where I'm like super feeling angry now. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. And it's stuff like that. Like, that one thing has really pissed me off. Good morning. And I don't want to be upset. And it's like, okay, why is that so triggering for me? But I can definitely feel like that anger starting to come up and just being frustrated. I also wanted to point out I had a bit of anxiety today starting the walk because of the bear the other day. I know they're more common like dusk and dawn, but it's still kind of like a thought in my mind. Or even like, oh my God, what other wild animal am I gonna see today or come across? I even thought about taking the bear spray I have with me, but I didn't. I've seen so many random things on my walk today. Like, there's a backpack. There was a car battery near the softball field. There was a softball over there too. I'm gonna stop at the pond up here. A few weeks ago, which was like the last time I walked this trail a few weeks ago, there were baby ducks and they're so cute. So I'm wondering if they're there or how much they've grown. I also want to point out, I know I'm out of breath. Oh. And there is a slight incline here. There's a mountain. Looks cool the way the shadows are cast on it. Okay, so I want to point out I'm going to my final TMS session, priming my brain the best that I can. I have not eaten yet. So that means I am 18 hours, 26 minutes into my fast. I'm sure it'll be at about 20 hours by the time I eat, but going into my final TMS in a very fasted state, did my Pilates. I'm walking there. I'll have a bottle of 2 or water before I start as well. No baby ducks today. Now, since we're on the topic of TMS and the tips that help maximize that, I missed a few the other day. One is getting adequate sleep. Your brain does a lot of work, just like our bodies, when it's at rest, asleep. So getting adequate sleep. The other one is minimal caffeine. And I know the place I go to had pretty much said like they don't want you to drink caffeine, but then it was like just drink what you normally drink. So I had just my 1 cup of coffee as opposed to like the 2 I normally have. And affirmations, that's a big one, and I left that out the other day. But doing affirmations, so one I have been doing consistency is I love and approve of myself. I got that from Louise Hay, and so just wanted to share these other tips with you all. I think I'm gonna take my hair down before I go in because the hat that you wear is pretty tight. The little cap, rather. It's gonna be a mess too. Whew. But I'm gonna catch my breath for a second. We all know how happy I was about this hat and the chin strap, and it straight up broke just now. So the clip is in there still, but it's totally detached, and this is my first time wearing it. So I might just try to tie this around the loop that's there, but wow, what a disappointment. But for about like $7, I guess that's what you get. I also just finished up TMS and am walking the 1.5 miles home, and they are going to be recommending a second round in a few months, so looking forward to that. And it may be a different treatment called MERT, where they treat the front and the back as opposed to left and right sides. I am loving this Kate heart. It does say te amo, which means I love you in Spanish. Almost home, and we can see it's the 1.5 miles. I can feel my mood is becoming very like I'm getting angry and frustrated. I know conversation with one of the psychologists at TMS was upsetting. I'm not going to get into why, but I think that has triggered me a bit. It is 12:02 p.m. I am making the same breakfast as yesterday with the exception of an extra egg. But anyway, same thing as yesterday, basically. I am also feeling more fearful today, I noticed. And again, even considered taking my bear attack deterrent with me, because that really did scare me. But not only that, like, I have such a fear of loose dogs or dogs that are not on leashes. I did have one come up to me once very aggressively, and thankfully that's all that was. It did not attack me. But I don't have a trust in loose dogs that are not on a leash. I don't. Or a dog getting loose scares me. So I worry about that on my walks. But also just this therapist at the TMS clinic, quite frankly, really pissed me off. For one, my appointment with him was at 10:30 and he was running late, so we did my TMS session instead. And once we were done with the TMS session, I was showing the tech the video of the bear because they're just so cool, right? And as I'm showing them to the tech, the psychologist guy comes in, the doctor, interrupts our whole little like finishing up of TMS and me showing off the bear, and is like, oh, I need her right now. And then we get into his office and he's like, well, we don't have much time. And I'm just, and granted, he wasn't like aggressive like that, but that's how it felt. And I'm just like, that's not my fault, right? So now we have to rush the time I had scheduled with him so that he can get on to his next patient. And it felt very like my time was not being honored, and that was upsetting, right? And then he is so insistent on certain things, and I'm just like, you should know better as a doctor in your position. Anyway, that has really upset me because basically he ended up being very invalidating with certain things, and I'm just like, I'm not trying to deal with this. So now I'm very frustrated from that interaction. And then there was just something else that popped up and I was like, I can't handle this right now either. But I want to share that I am making some green and black tea with you all. I do use a brand called Alwaza for the green tea, and then just Lipton black tea there. And we've got some hot water here, and we're just pouring that into a carafe that was essentially for my Keurig. It became a great option to use for my tea, so I'm gonna let that steep for a minute. No sugar added at all, not even sugar-free, just great, yummy, unsweetened black and green tea. I play with which one I have primary. For a while I was doing 3 black and 2 green. Right now I'm doing 3 green and 2 black. But anyway, just wanted to give you guys an update as far as where I'm at right now at 12:05 p.m. And also I want to share, I am 20 hours, 13 minutes into my fast. I'll probably eat around, I don't know, 12:30 at this point and try to calm down. Not really sure what I have planned for the rest of the day. I do want to get some lettuce so I can make burgers, bunless burgers, but we'll see how that goes. Here we have the tea bags. Now I do cut the strings off, let them cool down, and at some point I apply them directly to my face. Let's also go ahead and get this plated, the breakfast. Yum. That is a massive bunless sandwich. Oh my gosh, yum. I think one of the yolks is runny. Let's check. Yep, just a little bit. So to me, the yolk always provides quite a bit of flavor. So that'll just, especially when it's runny, right? So that'll flavor that up quite a bit. So we've got egg, cheese, that bacon, egg, bacon, more cheese, egg, and the yolks are a little runny, which is perfect. Look at that massive low carb breakfast option. And I'm gonna throw out there, if you're a spinach fan or veggie fan, you could add some of that too. Seriously proud of this sandwich right here. It is perfection. Yum. I just had to show again. That yolk is just perfect. And I love when the white is fully cooked, which is what's going on here too. So we've got the whites cooked and then just that good, smooth, runny yolk. I did go to the store. Let's go ahead and quickly unpack what I got. Some baby spinach that I will be making omelets with. Basically, I'll be putting it in the omelet. I got some lettuce to wrap my burgers in today. Some green beans, because green beans and steak are pretty much an easy go-to, especially when you cook the steak in the oven. So expect that at some point. I got an avocado. I got some Brussels sprouts, Roma tomatoes, berries, blueberries, and some strawberries. And I like to eat these with half and half. So that will be my dessert, the berries with half and half. I'm gonna go ahead and get started cooking those burgers. Now for the burgers. So what I do is I normally buy a pretty big package of ground beef, hamburger meat, and I portion it out into freezer baggies and use that. So what I'm gonna do with one of the sections I've portioned out is I pretty much just kind of squeeze it in the middle, all while in the bag. And I know a lot of people have their issues with plastic, whatever that stuff is called. I just don't have time to think about that, right? I just have to pretty much do what works for me and what is easy. But so it's in the corner there, right? And I just kind of squish it into a patty and then do the same with the other side. Now I am running out of room. So what I might do is finish that one up and then work on that other one. But for me, this is an easier way just so that I'm not touching that ground beef with my bare hands. And then I do have a pan, the same one I use for breakfast, and that is preheating on a medium heat. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these started. I'm gonna start with that one first. One coming out. We'll just grab it. Okay, now I do take some garlic salt. Sprinkle that on there. And that's actually garlic powder. We've got salt, pepper, and since I have a few chunks here, I am going to just flip this patty right onto those chunks, and it is kind of falling apart. Usually this works a lot better, but I still trust it's going to be okay. Oh, it smells so good already. And I was thinking about making 2 patties. I still am going to, because Zombie will more than likely eat the other one. But again, just salt, pepper, and garlic powder on this side as well. And then I will obviously get it into the middle of the pan. I just wanted you all to see what I was doing here. Sometimes I do throw in some onion with the hamburger so that it can kind of saute the onion, kind of like grilled onions. The other thing I'm going to do is, remember the bacon I pre-cooked yesterday for a wedge salad that hasn't happened? I am actually going to, once that meat is more cooked, heat one of these up in that same pan. So I'm gonna have a bacon cheeseburger wrapped in lettuce here shortly. Now check out this head of lettuce. This is what I'm talking about. There's this giant leaf here. I do usually remove the first leaf, but I may end up using this one. And then I do peel that back so I can get the next best leaf there, because I do want to keep it as intact as much as possible. Again, without light. Okay. All right, so I've got a couple of good pieces I can use for that wrap. Okay, these burgers are ready. So I am going to be adding a slice of cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar, extra sharp, and that bacon that I already heated up in there. This is the other burger. It did come out a little funny. It fell apart a bit. Mine did not. So that one's going to Zombie. And now we are going to put it into that lettuce and get it dressed. And who am I kidding? I know I want 2 slices of cheese. Now I did think about using the blue cheese crumbles that I have and adding them to the burger, but I just don't really want to play with all of that. So as that cheese is melting, let's go ahead. I want to know, how do you hamburger, right? Like, how do you like your hamburgers? Is it with a bun, a sesame seed bun wrapped in lettuce? Let me know. Also, what toppings do you like on your burger? I like my mayonnaise, so I'm adding some mayonnaise here. We've got pickles, and these are really thick cut. I had a bite of one and I was like, oh, they're so good. I do not like the sweet pickles. Yuck, that's, anyway, to each their own, but let me know if you do, and let me know if you like them on your burger. Now I've got some raw white onion, and then a Roma tomato that I did try and slice pretty thin. This is a mess to eat, so just be forewarned. If you do this, you already know, and if it's your first time, wear a bib. I also like a spicy ground mustard. Oh yeah, I haven't had mustard like this in a minute. And then I do like ketchup as well, and so I'm gonna put just a little bit there on the side for dipping. Now I am gonna be using a couple of napkins to absorb the grease from that hamburger. And it has really taken me a while to even get back to a point where I can formulate a few meals. And right now it kind of seems to be the same ones. Steak and green beans, hamburgers, or, I mean, I really can't, I don't even know what I've been eating because it's been just kind of random as well. But here we have that burger with the bacon. And now that we've got some of that grease off, we're gonna just put it right there on top. Oh my God, it's all coming together. Look at that. It looks amazing. And then I'm gonna wrap that up somehow and eat it. Probably like that. I am more than likely going to also use another leaf just to help it stay together. So let me know down in the comments how you like your burgers, what you like on them as far as toppings and condiments. I'm very curious to know. This is essentially my dinner. I do wanna, while this cools, just take a moment to update on my mood. Like, I'm really not okay again. And it's like the irritability is back, the frustration, the negative thoughts. Yesterday and today have really been a lot of like, why are we posting? Why are we doing this? What's the point? Like, and just even worse things. So just so you know, anything negative you say about me, I'm probably saying 10 times worse about myself. And that's not fun, right? So a lot of affirmations today to try to drown out that noise. And even yesterday, I was like, I don't even want to do these videos. You know, again, that I don't want to do the things that I know I want to do. So I do want to take a moment to touch on depression, right? Because we hear depression and we think automatically you're in bed, totally fatigued, can't do anything. And that is severe depression. I think it's important to understand that there are different levels of depression. And I was pretty much at that really severe end for quite a while. And for me, it's really like the fatigue, like not being able to do anything when I force myself to walk when I'm in that deeper depression. It is like carrying 1,000-pound weight behind me, and I can't do that for very long. Maybe a walk around a block and I have to go home or something simple, right? If even that. And then two, there's the mental fatigue that comes with it. But I just want to stress that while yes, I have seen a decrease in my depression symptoms, they're not gone. Like, they're still there, and it's just annoying. But overall, I think it's such a mix of shit going on for me mentally that it's hard to say what belongs where, and I'm just not gonna do. I don't know, you know, what symptom belongs to what. It's all just kind of a mess. But I do want to, you know, I did want to update and have a quick conversation about that, and that there are such things as anxiety and trauma hangovers, right? So I know in the past I would get really anxious and like my body tenses when I'm anxious, and that's very uncomfortable. So then the next few days it's very sore. I'm like, oh, I should have muscles at the end of this. Not the case. So that's one. And then I know when I was first diagnosed with borderline at the age of 22 or so, I remember mentioning how, you know, I'll have these major emotional upsets, and then I will just be so extremely tired the next day or two that it just totally wipes me out. And he was so validating. He was like, well, that makes sense. You know, me being new to all this and not wanting to even acknowledge the diagnosis. It was nice for him to validate that, though, that those emotional upsets alone can cause a very real and physical fatigue. So, you know, to anyone else out there who is experiencing this, I'm sorry, it's not fun, right? But you're also not alone in it. And I just wanted to clear some of those things up, because I don't want anybody wondering like, oh, she's so depressed, yet she is walking 4 miles a day, which is what I did today, and then probably an e-bike ride later. But a lot of that is also to help me cope with not drinking. The more time I'm active, the less I'm drinking. And I'm also pushing myself to do these things. This isn't like, again, I don't even want to be posting the videos, but I know that ultimately I really do. It's a lot of confusion in there. But I think that wraps that up. I know every day I have said that I want to do that comparison of the Doing All the Things challenge from June of 2025. I just don't have the mental capacity right now to look for that information and just figure it out. Again, I don't want to be making the videos, so I'm just kind of doing what I can and sharing what I can in regards to what I'm remembering at the time, because that's the other fun thing, the brain fog, right? So I don't know, it's a bunch of stuff. Also want to touch on the fact that I am not doing the Zepbound yet. I think I may wait until Monday or Tuesday. I'm really curious, as I'm just getting back into the low carb and the fasting and the exercise after taking a couple weeks off due to the issues with my feet. I'm really curious to see how much weight I lose on Monday just from getting back to those things. And the hat. Okay, the black hat. First, there was a whole issue where I thought the strap had broke, but it just came loose. You can actually like open the thing up and put it back through. I'd show you. I'm just too tired to do all that right now. So got that fixed. Okay, fine. And then it was super windy when I was walking to Safeway. And the hat, even though I had it tight here, and even folded the sides down flat against my head and left this up a little bit, it was still like, and granted it was super windy, but the wind was still catching the hat quite a bit. So I can see where that chin strap is only going to be effective to an extent. But overall, I mean, I like the hat. I'm gonna keep them both probably at this point. And I think that's about where I'm at right now. It is 3:44 p.m. I'm gonna go ahead and eat that burger, have my dessert, which I'll update you guys, of course, on that too, and just chill. Oh, it's always one other thing with me, right? So another thing I have been doing is practicing breath work, right? So breathing in and then having a very long breath out. That is supposed to help calm you. It is something I actually learned in the second rehab facility that I was in from the yoga instructor there. She was awesome. I don't know. Anyway, she was like one of the best people in that facility. And so she had actually talked to me and others about how your longer breaths out. So for example, breathe in for 4. And then breathe out for like 6 or 8. So you do have to be really intentional with breath work, right? And it seems so easy, like, oh, take a few deep breaths. But sometimes when you're in these heightened states, it's like you're not thinking about breathing. And quite frankly, trying to control the breathing in that manner isn't as easy as it sounds all the time. But I wanted to touch on that is a technique I use when I can't fall asleep, and I do feel that it is effective when I can remember to do it. And then my therapist has also given me a few techniques to use, and it's to essentially kind of get rid of all that built up, pent up like shakiness that can happen with trauma. And I'll just give one quick one. It's where you put your back against the wall with your legs. It's just easier if I do it, right? So it's gonna be something like this, right? And you just do this until you get wobbly, and basically you want your body to start trembling, and that's supposed to help release some of that tension. So a few more tips today on how to maybe alleviate the symptoms with anxiety and not being able to sleep, and just feeling overwhelmed and irritable. I really hope my mood gets better, because Zombie's already taken the brunt of it quite a bit today. I hate when I do that to him. I'm just so thankful he's understanding and patient. Here we have the dessert, blueberries, about a 1/4 cup of blueberries, 7 varying sizes of strawberries, some pecans and walnuts, and then a healthy amount of 50/50. And this will be my last meal of the day. It is 4:53, so I plan on starting my next fast probably no later than 5:15. 7:23 p.m. We are heading out on our bikes. That's a fun little path to cross. We are on the Greenway Trail headed south. This is going to be a very big loop. We are now on Sand Creek Trail, and it's interesting. That almost looked like a heart for a second, the way the leaves formed. Painful. Anyway, Sand Creek Trail, and going to take this to another small trail, and then that up to Block Island, and then we'll take that west. Whoa. That is so pretty. I wish we were closer to the mountains right now. The color is pretty incredible. It's got right now. Over by the mountains, that sun is just too cool. The sunset. It's so hard to capture from here, but oh my god, it's incredible. The last of the sunset here. Yeah, I know. And some stars starting to come out. Update on this tripod that I ordered with the flexible arms. I did already package it back up because I will not be keeping it and just going from like a driveway onto the paved road. My phone fell out, so not keeping this one. And then I will try this one that was bigger and bulkier and attaches differently, but this one is going back. All right, so that was an incredible bike ride. As we can see there, over 20 miles and over an hour and 43 minutes total. Just a giant loop through the city. It was great. I was worried that the bike might lose power because it is an e-bike, so keep that in mind. That's really what made that ride possible. There's no way I'm probably biking 20 miles without the assist. One day, right? Anything is possible. Plans for tomorrow, if you're curious and want to stick around, we do think we're going to be attending this, what is it, a wine festival in Manitou. I won't be drinking, of course, but it'll be a great ride over there, and then to just hang out for a bit. And let's also quickly check the calorie burn for the day is at 1,260. So I'll probably clear 1,300 calories by the end of the day. Look at that step count 14,283. It's been a good day, a very busy day. I would say, as far as my mood, I would say definitely unpredictable, and not stable, you know, like being easily upset by things. Although I do feel that like I had a right to feel the way that I did with some of those things that had occurred today. So there's that. So yeah, I would say as far as my mood, some good, some not so good, and some intensity there too. And then, you know, the negative self-talk and all that crap was pretty apparent. Let's go see what Zombie's doing. I was gonna see what you're doing. Are you working out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna show them when you were working out, but it's okay. We'll catch you another time, I think. Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you back here tomorrow.